Good morning, everybody. It is August the 3rd, 2016, and many states held elections yesterday. Kansas was actually in the news about their election. A very conservative congressman who took on John Boehner and Mitch McConnell. I don't know if he won last night. He was behind when I left the party. Was targeted by the Republicans for crossing John Boehner and Mitch McConnell and not going along with spending, etc. like that. And they spent $1.5 million in a little voting district of Kansas to defeat a Republican. So and they to get their own guy in. So we'll see how that one turned out. Here in Wichita, the party we were at, we had a conservative councilman who actually would vote no to new spending proposals, who is defeated by crony capitalists in a little tiny election that put over $60,000 into his opponent's campaign for advertising, and he was able to defeat this conservative. So my point is that stopping the gravy train, stopping the spending, going against the powers that be, the people that are at the top of the pyramid right now that pull the strings and the levers, is very difficult to do. And they will do anything to protect the status quo, even attacking and eating their own. And that's the problem that we face. And again, unfortunately, from my standpoint, the only solution I think that will change things and turn it around is some sort of catastrophic economic contraction where there is no money to do all these grandiose proposals. And politicians make these huge promises. They're going to spend more and more money, etc. And that's how they feel they have to stay in office. They have to do that to do it. So it's very difficult to break this cycle. And people that stand up and stick their head above the trenches and say, enough, no more, like that, usually don't survive early in the game, the attacks by those that are in power. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out this November. My guess is that between Trump and Clinton, they'll be trying to outspend each other, take that argument away from their opponents. Whether they do it or not is always a different matter. So big election night here in Kansas and for a lot of the United States, and we'll see how those results pour in throughout the day. Markets were pretty quiet overnight. Only China's stock market was up, so equities are down. We have news this morning, ADP 165. Friday's non-farm payroll number right now is called at 185. Back from the 262 plus of the last announcement. PMI services, I didn't have an estimate, 51.4. Yesterday's numbers came in. The ISM manufacturing number and PMI's numbers came in much higher than forecast. ISM services at 56, and then crude inventories at minus 1.6. Put an article up on the API numbers last night. API had a draw in crude, and they had a draw in inventories at Cushing, and that's what took crude oil up last night after the close. So the news focus will be number 1, ADP, and then number 2, ISM services. Right now, resistance starts at 17. We got resistance at 16 to 20. We've got a P right here. I think we're going to trade a little higher, so 19 to 23, sell 1. 27 to 31, sell 2. If the stock market sells, we do not want to be short. On the buy side, pretty good support at 13, so 9 to 13, buy 1. 1 to 5, buy 2. Hope you all had a great evening. Still hotter than blazes down here. It's driving home last night about 10:30. It was 91 degrees. Humidity was down a little bit, only at 50%, so a little better than it has been. Drying out somewhat. We do need rain. But it's like being in the deep south. Well, I'm sure he did that, Charles. I mean, it just again, there's no political will out there to upset the apple cart. Probably won't be this November. Okay, resistance starts at 12, so 12 to 16 is 1. 19 to 23, sell 1. 31 to 03, sell 2. Again, if the stock market sells, we don't want to be short. On the buy side, the buck to 04 is number 1. Last rotate down in Asia was 25, so we'll make 25, 29, buy 1. And then 9 to 13, buy 2. I'm kind of seeing a trading range day today. I don't think we have the news with Friday's non-farm payroll to break it out without some help from outside sources like the news this morning. We do have news that can move the market. We have the ADP number and we have ISM services. The ISM services number is pretty generous right now at 56. So big surprise on ADP is probably where a market move, if it develops, comes from. Gold was off of a buck when I looked at it an hour or so ago. We did not get new highs in London as I thought we might. So we've got a seller at 72. Didn't make 75 yet, but we're within reach. And if the market stays above this 163, 1363, 1365 area, yesterday's start of the day session, I no reason not to trade higher, especially with the news that's going on in the world. So 73, 75, sell 1. 79.81, sell 2. Friday's non-farm payroll may keep us contained today. 65, 67, buy 1. 60, 62, buy 2. If you had to make a trade in gold, it would be at the market. Right now, at this moment in time, it would be from the long side. I know, but what if it doesn't go higher, Charles? If it doesn't go higher, actually sells, I think most people will view it, again, as a buying opportunity. Dollar's up a little bit, euro's off overnight. Sold on the opening. How do they know to do that? Just come in and sell the opening. It's just guys come out and just sell the opening and the close and see what happens, and then it all starts from there. Last rotate up stopped at 33, so top of value 35 to 45, sell 1. 55 to 65, sell 2. On the buy side, 112 even. 112.10, buy 1. And then 11.75, buy 2. Crude oil. APIs last night drew. They drew at Cushing. Well, crude is trying to trade lower, but again, we've had two pretty hard days down. We've come from, the spill started at 46 and we've gotten below 40, so that's a pretty big move. Crude normally moves in $2 to $3 ranges, and then it kind of pauses and consolidates. So I'm doing the E-split right here. As long as we stay below 40 and a quarter, the market can sell, and the second point up here would be the 40.56. So 40 and a quarter, 40.50 is pretty stout resistance. And we've got a P right now with volume over time, so maybe stops above 40. We're going to sell 40, 40 and a quarter, sell 1, 40, 50, 40, 75, sell 2. Got to give crude a little room. It's a little sloppy. It's not as precise. The note would be the most precise instrument that we can trade. Okay, on the downside, we've got our 39 and a even, 39 and a quarter, buy 1. Put a question mark at 50. The APIs were showed a draw. The EIA number tonight, they're looking for a draw 1.6. The APIs drew 1.4, so they're very similar. 38.50 to 75 for buy 2. As we all know, the Fed's really not too interested in the stock market selling. I believe 2135 is the important number. Then if we break that, it would be the 2075 area. 2100 would be the next band of support. So we got three levels: 2135, 2100 because it's a market number, a round number, then that 2075, 2080 structurally. And if you look at the F1 screen, the low volume number is at 2140 on a 4-point price, so there's rounding errors here. We'll put this all in together. And you see we have an inside day. We got the single print down here at 36. That's our 36.50 where the breakout came from. Then we've got breakout in the basically the 2110 area, 10 to 15. And then there's our high volume numbers at 88. So we've got a lot of support just beneath the market. We haven't had really heavy duty selling, but we've kind of paused it right here. And one of the news articles that I posted talked about stock market could be down for the 8th day in a row if it sells today. So, Lord, that's never happened. So we got pretty good support in this 45 area. 44, 46 buy 1. Then 36 to 41 buy 2. We'll open it up for buy 2 if we break this low right here. Pretty easy to get to 2135. On the sell side, got the overnight high, Globex, so we've got the London high at 51. I think we can get up above that. So this would be like we were yesterday, pretty much at the 60 level, 62 to 64. So we'll make it 52, 54, sell 1. Let them get stops above that number or that number. And then the spill was from 57. Last rotate up was 58. So we'll make 58 to 61. Sell 2. ADP 165. PMI services didn't get an update this morning. 51.4 is where it was last month. Could come in higher. ISM services at 56. That's pretty high. but the ISM manufacturing came in much higher, and then minus 1.6 for the crude inventories. Okay, we'll take a bit to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy on that. I will be back with you as soon as possible.